Male masturbation. It's a topic often shrouded in silence. Before we move on to this discussion, please do me a favor by subscribe, like, and share to this channel. This helps me create more content like this. Masturbation. It's a topic often shrouded in silence, whispered in hushed tones, or avoided altogether. Yet it's a reality for many men, a natural part of their physical and emotional landscape. We'll delve into the complexities of male masturbation, examining it through the lenses of both biblical teachings and modern health perspectives. Our goal is not to provide definitive answers or dictate a single rigid viewpoint. Rather, we want to encourage thoughtful reflection, respectful conversation, and a deeper understanding of this multifaceted issue. So, let's begin, approaching this sensitive subject with open minds and hearts. What's something people don't know about the advantages and disadvantages of masturbation? Before delving into specific biblical interpretations and modern health perspectives, it's crucial to acknowledge the historical and cultural baggage surrounding male masturbation. For centuries, this practice has been subject to widespread stigma, often viewed through a lens of shame, guilt, and even fear. In many cultures, masturbation has been condemned as a sinful, shameful, or unnatural act. These negative perceptions, passed down through generations, have created a climate of secrecy and fear, discouraging individuals from seeking accurate information or support. However, it's important to remember that these historical and cultural perspectives are just that, perspectives. As we move forward, it's essential to approach this topic with a critical eye, questioning long-held assumptions and seeking a more nuanced understanding. The Bible, a text revered by millions, plays a significant role in shaping beliefs about sexuality, including male masturbation. However, interpreting ancient scriptures through a modern lens requires careful consideration. The Bible doesn't explicitly address male masturbation as we understand it today. The verses often cited in these discussions typically address broader themes of sexual purity, self-control, and the sanctity of marriage. One such passage is found in Leviticus, chapter 15, verses 16 to 18, which outlines ritual purity laws related to bodily emissions. While some interpretations view these verses as condemning all forms of non-procreative sexual activity, including masturbation, others argue that these laws primarily addressed ritual purity in the context of ancient Israelite society. Similarly, passages like 1 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 18, which urges believers to flee from sexual immorality, are often cited in discussions about masturbation. It's essential to approach these texts with humility, recognizing that our modern interpretations may not always align with the original intent or context. Perhaps the most well-known biblical passage cited in discussions about male masturbation is the story of Onan in Genesis chapter 38. In this complex narrative, Onan is instructed to impregnate his brother's widow Tamar to continue his brother's lineage. However, Onan spilled his seed on the ground rather than fulfilling his duty. However, a closer examination of the text reveals that Onan's sin was primarily rooted in his refusal to fulfill his familial obligation, not necessarily the act of spilling his seed. The text emphasizes Onan's selfishness and disregard for his brother's legacy, suggesting that his actions were driven by greed and a desire to protect his inheritance. The Onan story highlights the complexities of biblical interpretation and the need for careful analysis. While some may view this passage as a clear condemnation of masturbation, others argue that it addresses a different set of issues related to family duty and inheritance. Beyond Onan, exploring other biblical verses often cited in discussions about masturbation. Beyond the story of Onan, other biblical verses are frequently drawn into the conversation surrounding male masturbation, often used to support arguments against the practice. These verses typically emphasize themes of sexual purity, self-control, and the appropriate expression of sexual desire within the bounds of marriage. For instance, Matthew 5:28, where Jesus speaks about lusting after another person in one's heart, is sometimes cited as evidence against masturbation. This verse, however, focuses on the internal thoughts and desires that can lead to sinful actions, not necessarily solitary acts devoid of external objectification. It's crucial to remember that interpreting biblical texts requires a nuanced understanding of their historical context, literary genre, and overall message. The body's perspective. Modern science weighs in on male masturbation. Moving beyond biblical interpretations, let's explore what modern science has to say about male masturbation. Unlike the often moralistic lens of religious discourse, science approaches this topic from a physiological and psychological perspective. Research has consistently shown that male masturbation is a common practice across cultures and throughout history. It's considered a natural biological function, a way for the body to relieve sexual tension and regulate hormones. In fact, some studies suggest that a regular masturbation may offer certain health benefits for men. For instance, it may help to reduce the risk of prostate cancer, improve sleep quality, and alleviate stress and anxiety. While masturbation is generally considered a healthy and normal part of male sexuality, excessive or compulsive behavior can indicate underlying issues that may require professional help. The benefits of self-exploration. Understanding the physical and psychological upsides. Masturbation, far from being a shameful secret, can actually offer a range of physical and psychological benefits for men. By understanding these benefits, we can move beyond the stigma and embrace a healthier, more positive view of male sexuality. On a physical level, masturbation provides a safe and natural outlet for sexual tension. It can help to relieve stress, improve sleep quality, and even alleviate certain types of physical discomfort. Beyond the physical, masturbation can be a valuable tool for psychological well-being. It allows men to explore their sexuality in a safe and private space, discovering what feels pleasurable and satisfying. Moreover, masturbation can be a healthy way to manage stress, anxiety, and other emotional challenges. When enough is enough, recognizing potential risks of excessive masturbation. While masturbation is generally considered a healthy part of male sexuality, excessive or compulsive behavior can sometimes indicate underlying issues that may require attention. It's important to differentiate between healthy sexual expression and patterns that might be causing distress or interfering with one's life. Excessive masturbation can manifest in different ways for different individuals. For some, it might involve spending an inordinate amount of time engaged in the activity, neglecting responsibilities, or withdrawing from social interactions. For others, it might involve feeling unable to control urges, leading to feelings of shame, guilt, or anxiety. If masturbation begins to feel like an obligation rather than a choice, or if it's being used as a primary coping mechanism for dealing with stress, loneliness, or other emotional difficulties, it might be helpful to seek professional guidance. Finding the balance. Navigating between faith, personal values, and well-being. Navigating the topic of male masturbation can feel like traversing a complex landscape, often filled with conflicting messages from religious teachings, societal norms, and personal values. Finding a sense of peace and balance requires thoughtful reflection, honest self-assessment, and a willingness to engage with different perspectives. For those seeking to reconcile their faith with their sexuality, it's essential to remember that biblical interpretation is not a monolithic entity. Different denominations and individuals hold varying views on sexual ethics, and what feels morally aligned for one person might differ for another. Engaging in open and respectful dialogue with clergy members, counselors, or trusted mentors can provide valuable guidance and support. Ultimately, finding the right balance involves listening to one's own body, conscience, and values. The importance of respectful dialogue, fostering understanding and empathy. As we've explored, the topic of male masturbation is fraught with complexity, often evoking strong emotions and deeply held beliefs. Navigating this sensitive terrain requires a commitment to respectful dialogue, a willingness to listen with empathy, and a genuine desire to understand perspectives different from our own. Creating a space for open and honest conversations about male sexuality can be challenging, particularly given the historical and cultural baggage surrounding this subject. However, by approaching these conversations with sensitivity, curiosity, and a non-judgmental spirit, we can begin to break down the walls of shame and secrecy that often prevent men from seeking information, support, or simply feeling comfortable in their own bodies. Embracing compassion and growth, a call for open-mindedness and continued learning. As we conclude this exploration of male masturbation, it's important to emphasize that this is not a conversation with a definitive ending point. Rather, it's an ongoing journey of learning, growth, and self-discovery, one that requires open-mindedness, compassion, and a willingness to challenge our own assumptions. The perspectives we've explored, biblical interpretations, scientific findings, personal experiences, all contribute to a richer, more nuanced understanding of this complex issue. By embracing a spirit of curiosity and a commitment to ongoing dialogue, we can foster greater understanding, empathy, and support for ourselves and others. Ultimately, let's strive to create a culture where conversations about male sexuality are approached with honesty, respect, and a genuine desire for understanding. Thank you for watching, and make sure like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more real-life content like this.